I blew my rear end. This is a V6 truck that I swapped the V8 into, and I do burnouts. I welded the diff. It's lasted a few months, but I broke an axle shaft last night. So right now it's got a half an axle shaft on this side, so the only thing holding the wheel on is really the caliper bracket. So I just got it towed to my house, and I'm gonna get in here as hard as I can, start up the heat, and yank it. Alrighty, so it's a little bit tight in here. We got a couple motors in here. That one we hurt pretty bad. The 6 liter. It was in this truck for about 2 weeks and had no oil pressure. I kept sending it and did not like it. The other one's a 4.8 going on my buddy's square body. Alright, so I got the caliper off, just hanging for now. I'm going to try to take this rear end out without having to bleed my brakes when I put it back in, because those bleeders ain't going to come loose. So I'm going to show you guys what happened here. I blew the rear end and this axle shaft came out. My rotor's grinding a little bit. That don't matter. I made it back to the shop where I work. I went right down the road. Then I broke it. So this side was kind of jammed in, and we pulled it out, and I cut this axle shaft with the oxyacetylene torch so that I could stick this back in there and drive it in the driveway. This is what happens when you weld your diff. Luckily for me, I don't care, because I'm just going to swap a new one in. It's way worth it for me. If you don't have disposable rear ends and good friends to help you get rear ends and help you swap them and stuff, it might not be worth it, but for me, it's a lot of fun and well worth it. So I'm gonna work on just fucking yanking this thing out. Alright, so I'm under here just disconnecting the brake line and stuff, and I just want to show you guys something. This truck, when it's down, you can see the gap here. There's no bump stop, because when it's down on the ground, this thing is about 2 inches from the frame. Every time I hit a bump, it goes boom, and the fucking frame bottoms out. So I'm gonna be C-notching it soon, but I'm thinking about doing a big C-notch and bags, but we're not sure yet. So right now I'm just gonna swap the rear and leave it how it is, which kind of is shitty, but it works for me. I'm just having fun with it. All right, so just like that, I got everything unhooked except for the U-bolts. Ow, my knee. It's all good. Let's see. Start taking these things out and see what happens. I know I'm gonna have to put a jack under it, but I'm gonna start loosening them. See how they come out. I've never taken these off before, so. Pry bar out. Break this thing loose. Jack down. Wow, the wedge right in there. Let me stop on it one more time. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Cool. Ow, man, I got metal in my hand. Okay, let's see what happens here. Get your hand on it. Oh yeah, No problem. Almost like I did something right here. Okay. Cool. This thing dragged out. Left all the lines and everything on it. Cool. Well, there it is. My axle's out. Time to take it out. And maybe I'll open it up for you guys. Show you what happened and how I welded it in case you actually want to do it. Alright, let's see if I can get this thing dragged out and put on some jack stands or something so I can open it up, see what's going on there. Oh, pretty light. Not much to them. I see a lot of people junking cars because they have a blown rear end or Chevy trucks. And this took me like an hour to pull out, and you can swap a junkyard one in or when you get off another truck. No problem. So I buy trucks like this and fix them up. This truck was pretty rough when I got it, and we've done a bunch of work to it, and we have fun with it. Alright. Need some sawhorses. I'm gonna need a hand here. Alright, I'm gonna pull this diff cover off. This gun might be a little bit overkill for this, but this thing's junk, so. So we shouldn't be seeing anything too crazy in here because the axle shaft's broke, but you'll be able to see what I did when I welded the rear, which isn't recommended, but is fun. So let's see here. Oh, this thing up. Got the silicone on there, all the silicone. Oh, yeah, it's still full of fluid. Okay. So it looks like, yeah. There are my welds. I don't know if you guys can see that. I preheated it with an oxyacetylene torch and just welded as much as I could in there. I didn't weld a plate or anything in, which I've seen people do. Oh, it's chipping from somewhere. Oh, the vent. But it held up besides the axle shafts. But the problem with doing this is I can't get the carrier out now because that axle shaft is still in. And a part of this one is also still in. So unless I somehow cut this thing off and the carrier will come out and I'll be able to use the axle housing, but I'm not doing all that because I'm getting one from a friend. So that's the downside of welding your rear, is when you blow it, you gotta basically swap the whole thing, unless there's a better way that I ain't doing right. Alright, so I'm gonna bring this rear end to my buddy, and we're gonna swap it out of one of his junk trucks. And I got a mini spool coming in the mail, which is like welding your rear. You just basically put a block in where the spider gear goes, so it locks in. And if you blow something, you can take it apart, which is a little better than welding it, because you can use the axle housing itself. Again, once you blow an axle shaft or something, you just swap it. So I'll make an install video, and if you guys want to see more videos of this truck or my Cadillac, I'll be happy to make them. Just want to get started into making videos, and I have a good time, and I like to share that. So peace out.